The government of Uganda in the past pledged to restore 2.5 million hectares of degraded forest by 2020 under the Bonn Challenge. In a bid to implement this pledge, a non-governmental organization, Tooro Botanical Gardens (TBG), located in Fort Portal City in Western Uganda, 290 kilometers from City Centre Kampala, have been working with local communities to bring 52 hectares of degraded forest reserves under restoration. Godfrey Ruyonga, the organization director, says the organization deals in biodiversity conservation, with the main focus being on ecological research, conservation and restoration.
Tooro Botanical Gardens is an indigenous organization that deals in biodiversity conservation. Our main area of focus is ecological restoration, research, conservation and education.
Here at the Tooro Botanical Gardens, they operate the largest native tree nursery in Uganda, which produces almost 40,000 native tree seedlings every year. At the moment, the organization is working on restoring over 80 hectares of tropical forest, which is key in providing nature-based carbon removal solutions for Uganda in order to mitigate climate change. Uganda has 849 native tree species, 30 of which are also being globally threatened.
We have an arboretum that is 100 acres, 100 acres that we lease from National Forest Authority. It's called Fort Portal Central Forest Reserve. By the time we leased this land, it was communally used as a grassland for farming and other purposes by the communities around. And when we leased it, we had to reforestate it, to plant trees that were meant to be here, as it is a forest reserve. To date, all the 100 acres are fully planted with trees, save about 3 acres that we use for buildings and other structures that support the conservation work.
Since 2007, Ruyonga says they have given out 26 million tree seedlings to different communities to plant. According to him, they have worked with neighboring communities to bring degraded forest reserves under restorations, and they are currently operating the largest indigenous tree nursery in Uganda.
To date, we've given out over 26 million tree seedlings to different communities to plant and organizations, of course. And we're excited that this rainy season we've got a lot of demands again. We have been picking trees, both for sale and free to communities and others. They're planting.
In 2018, they established 4 additional indigenous tree nurseries close to the areas that have been identified as high priority sites for restoration using restoration opportunities assessment methodology. The project, run in a collaboration with the Ministry of Water and Environment and IUCN, is helping to ensure that Uganda's Bonn Challenge pledge is delivered in a way that benefits biodiversity and improves livelihoods. The project has trained and employed more than 100 people from rural areas to collect seeds and propagate a diverse supply of indigenous tree seedlings. Outreach activities and collaboration with government, NGOs and other tree planting organizations are helping to drive the demand for native species produced by these nurseries. This has included the establishment of 8 restoration demonstration plots in protected sites and 4 community lands.
This region. We also support other organizations like Ministry of Water and Environment. We give them trees, but also take contracts to plant for them in different parts of this country, within especially Mpanga catchment. Among other local governments, we're also planting in Uganda. We established a nursery in Uganda local government, where we planted Kirimiri, the Central Forest Reserve, and other surrounding areas in Uganda.
Working with the U.S. Forest Service and the National Forestry Authority, NFA, the project has alienated seed zones based on climatic factors, which can be used with the ROM zones to guide seed collection. The project has trained 60 people who are now employed to monitor seed set and collect seeds. Training was provided by Tooro Botanical Gardens and NFA, which included planning for seed collection, methods of seed collection, data recording, post-harvest handling techniques. The trained personnel are now collecting and supplying seeds to 4 indigenous tree nurseries, where 40 trained nursery workers grow a supply of seedlings.
In the shade nets, it's where we raise and grow young seedlings that need this extra care. They don't need a lot of rainfall, they don't need a lot of sunshine.
Other nurseries are situated in Mbale, Rwamunda, Kagadi and Chirimire districts. More than 260,000 seedlings of indigenous species have been produced by the nurseries.
So far, we started as an institution, we have so far managed to plant 150 seedlings. That is per quarter, which means every season we plant 150 seedlings. So which means that we have 2 seasons in a year. That is May between March to May, and we have that on September to November.
So here we conduct study tours for students, pupils, and university students. Vija barambure by'obuhangwa tubashomesa emiti mugamburugo n'omutogu nogu.
We are compiling a list of all degraded areas with the view of launching a serious fight against encroachers so that we are able to restore these areas.
Richard Rabuhinga, the Uganda Local Government Association president, who also doubles as the Kabare district chairperson, says the fight against environmental degradation should be rare and non-selective.
This fight must be real and non-selective. It must be real and non-selective. Because if you are going to handle it selectively, having the untouchables somewhere, and then going for the poor peasants in this country, we shall not achieve much.
In May this year, the government, through the National Environment Management Authority, NEMA, drew up a 10-year environment restoration plan aimed at restoring the degraded environment. The plan focuses on restoration of degraded ecological systems such as forests, wetlands, riverbanks, and lake shores. For many Ugandans living in the greater Kampala metropolitan area where I'm standing right now, conservation is rarely part of the conversation, which begs the question, are we doing enough to mitigate climate change? Suhail Mugabe, CTV.